Let's imagine a world where the Roman Empire never fell. Yeah, that empire, with the togas, gladiators, aqueducts, and dramatic speeches. At its peak, Rome ruled over 60 million people. That's like putting modern Italy, France, Spain, Egypt, Turkey, and more under one giant toga. They built roads so well that some are still around today. They invented concrete, central heating, newspapers, on stone, and public toilets. But in the year 476 AD, the Western Roman Empire collapsed like a poorly built amphitheater. Barbarians invaded, emperors vanished, and the world changed forever. Or did it? What if Rome never fell? Would we all be speaking Latin? Would we have emperors instead of presidents? Would pizza have pineapples? Okay, maybe not that last one. Today we're diving into a world of alternate history, a place where the Roman Empire survived and kept on growing. So grab your helmet, your sandals, and your favorite scroll, because we're heading into a reality where the eagle still flies and Rome rules the world. First, let's rewind. Who were the Romans anyway? Rome started as a small village in Italy around 753 BC. Not much more than a few huts and a couple of goats. But in just a few centuries, they built an empire that stretched from Britain to the Middle East. That's like going from neighborhood soccer team to world champions without stopping. They were masters of engineering. Roads, over 400,000 kilometers. Aqueducts, they carried water across mountains. Architecture, temples, arenas, bathhouses, all still standing in some form today. The Roman Republic had a senate and elections kinda, but things got intense, and eventually one man took control, Julius Caesar. Then came emperors like Augustus, Nero, Trajan, and Constantine. Rome wasn't just about fighting. It was about law, language, and lifestyle. Their language, Latin, became the mother of Spanish, French, Italian, Portuguese, and Romanian. Their laws shaped legal systems all over the world. But like any great drama, Rome had its twists. Greedy emperors, barbarian invasions, economic crashes, civil wars. It was Game of Thrones, but with more togas and fewer dragons. By 395 AD, Rome was split into east and west. The eastern half, Byzantine Empire, survived for a while. The western half? Not so lucky. In 476 AD, a young emperor named Romulus Augustulus was kicked out like a kid who lost his homework. And just like that, the Western Roman Empire was gone. Or was it? If Rome was so mighty, why did it fall? Spoiler, it wasn't aliens or asteroids. It was way more human. Bad choices, bad timing, and a bunch of bad luck. First, the empire was huge. Managing it was like trying to run a giant group chat where everyone's arguing in different languages. Next, the economy tanked. Rome spent too much on wars, monuments, and keeping the people happy. To solve it, they raised taxes and started making coins with less silver. The result? Inflation. Yes, like when your grandma says bread used to cost 10 cents. Then came the barbarians. Not wild monsters, just hungry tribes like the Visigoths, Vandals, and Huns who saw Rome as a buffet of gold. And inside the empire? Chaos. Corrupt officials, power-hungry generals, and emperors changing faster than TikTok trends. Finally, in 395 AD, the empire split, east and west. The east, Byzantium, held on. The west crumbled in 476. Rome had survived for over 1,000 years, and then it was done. But wait, what if it didn't fall? Let's enter the ultimate what-if world. Rome never fell. They solved their problems, beat the barbarians, and modernized over time. The result? A totally different Earth. First, the global language would be Latin. Instead of hello, we'd say salve. Instead of OMG, we'd shout Deus meus. School would teach Latin from kindergarten. And movies? Imagine Spider-Man saying, Et tu, Uncle Ben? Architecture would look like modern Rome. Straight roads, elegant arches, statues on every corner. Skyscrapers? Maybe, but with columns and eagle carvings. The Colosseum would still host events, just with laser lights and concerts. You'd go to a toga party every week. Instead of presidents, we'd elect world emperors through global votes. a kind of Senate-run democracy, but with more marble. Even religion might look different, a fusion of Roman mythology, Christianity, and maybe a bit of astrology. Praise Jupiter, but also check your star sign. And culturally, you'd say, I'm not just from Spain or Brazil, I'm a citizen of the Roman Empire. One world, one government, one identity. Sounds neat, or maybe a little too neat. In a world where the Roman Empire never fell, our technology and daily life would look very different. Imagine walking down the street in a city called Nova Roma Prime. The roads, still straight, still perfect, but now made with smart stones that light up when you step on them. Water, delivered straight to your home by solar-powered aqueducts. Public fountains, still everywhere, but now with charging ports for your phone. The Roman obsession with baths, oh, it only got stronger. People would go to giant high-tech bathhouses with saunas, massage bots, and maybe even hot tubs shaped like lions. And forget Monday to Sunday, the calendar would be different. Maybe we'd still be using Roman months like Martus, Julius, and Augustus. And every year would start with a huge new Saturnalia party. Kind of like New Year's, but with more dancing and less sleep. How about school? Kids would study math, Latin, rhetoric, and sword-fighting PE class? Okay, maybe not swords, but probably some version of Imperial History and Public Speaking 101. Instead of Google, you'd have ImperiumNet. Instead of YouTube, maybe RomeTube, where you can find tutorials like how to build a mini aqueduct in your backyard, top 10 Roman emperors ranked by SAS, or toga fashion hacks for summer. And meals? Roman food would have evolved too. Still olive oil, bread, and wine. But now with pizza that's actually healthy and maybe 3D printed lasagna. Basically, Rome would have mixed its love for order and beauty with modern innovation. It wouldn't look like today's world. It would be cleaner, grander, and full of columns. Because when in eternal Rome, do as the futuristic Romans do. If Rome never fell, politics would be a whole different game. Instead of presidents, kings, or parliaments, we might have a global Senate, one giant government with its capital in Rome, or maybe Neo-Constantinople 3.0. And the leader? Not president, but maybe people's emperor. Elected every few years, still powerful, but checked by laws and advisors. Picture someone in a toga with a suit underneath and an AI assistant. The laws? Super organized. A worldwide legal system called Codex Legalis Universalis, with rules like Article 45, every citizen has the right to a beautiful public fountain. Article 78, wearing socks with sandals is a fashion crime against the empire. Culturally, it would be a giant mix. Rome absorbed every culture it met, so over centuries that would grow into a blend of Egyptian art, Greek architecture, African music, Arabic science, Indian philosophy, all rolled into one big empire of creativity. Holidays would be wild. Festival of the gods, everyone dresses like Jupiter or Venus. Toga week, like Fashion Week, but silkier. Founding Day of Rome with drone parades and eagle shapes. Religion? Probably a blend too. Maybe a version of Roman Christianity with mythology mixed in. Praise Mars, but only on Tuesdays. And fashion? Oh, togas would have evolved into stylish tunics with phone pockets and weather mode. Roman identity would be global. You wouldn't say, I'm from Germany or Kenya. You'd say, I'm Roman, and people would respond, Ave friend. One empire, one culture, one stylish, marble-filled world. So, all of this sounds cool, right? But hold up. Would an eternal Roman Empire be better or worse? Let's weigh it out. Pros, one global law that means fewer international conflicts over silly legal differences. No legal here, illegal there problems, more fairness, and fewer surprises at airports. Super infrastructure. Well-built roads, public baths, epic theaters, and fountains that actually work. A common language, Latin. No more translation apps. Everyone understands Carpe Diem and Veni Vidi Vici. Long-term stability. One system, one structure. Fewer sudden revolutions or collapsing governments. Now the cons. Less cultural diversity. When one empire rules everything, small local traditions might get erased or ignored. Food, languages, and dances could all start looking the same. Possible tyranny. If too much power is in one place, what happens if a bad emperor takes over? Remember, Emperor Caligula made his horse a senator, Imagine what he'd do with TikTok. Less innovation. A super stable empire might say no thanks to weird new ideas. Could we even have punk music or video games in a world that's always classy? Always in togas? Togas in summer? Great. Togas in a snowstorm? Less fun. So yeah, a never-fallen Rome might bring peace and beauty, but also control and sameness. Sometimes a little chaos and change helps us grow. Maybe Rome's fall made room for other voices, other stories, to rise. So, what did we learn today? That Rome wasn't just an empire, it was an idea. An idea of law, architecture, order, and epic public baths. An idea that spread, collapsed, and still echoes today. Even though the empire fell in 476 AD, Rome never truly disappeared. Roman law became the base of modern legal systems. Their aqueducts inspired our plumbing. Their city planning, still used today. Their calendar, still ticking. Even the languages we speak, Spanish, French, Italian, are just evolved Latin. The truth is, Rome influenced the world more by falling than if it had stayed in charge. Because once it collapsed, other cultures had the chance to shine. New ideas were born. New inventions, new art, new music, even memes. Rome passed the torch, and that's kind of beautiful. So next time you see a straight road, a marble statue, or a calendar month like July, remember where it came from. Rome may be gone, but it never really left. And that's it, citizens of the internet. You just visited a world where Rome never fell, where everything was organized, grand, and covered in marble. So tell us, would you want to live in that version of Earth? Would you be a loyal Roman or a rebellious barbarian with wild ideas? Let us know in the comments below. And if you like this journey through time, hit that like, subscribe, and ring the imperial bell. We've got more what-if adventures coming your way, from empires that vanished to civilizations that never existed. History is full of twists, and imagination helps us explore them all. Until next time, remember, every time you open a calendar, take a bath, or say etc., you're speaking a little Roman. As the old saying goes, alea licest subscriptum. The die is cast, and you better be subscribed. See you in the next time traveling episode. Citizens, valet. That's goodbye in Latin.